Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 1 of Krusty Comics. Now, as you know, Krusty Comics, much like Bartman, Lisa, and Radioactive Man and all that, were meant to be like these spin-off like comics. And the best I can say with this Krusty comic series was that it was basically like the SpongeBob episode Krabbyland before Krabbyland was actually made. And the whole point of the story is Krusty the Clown building Krustyland. And you know, Krusty the Clown is meant to be a bit of a sleazeball. He gets himself in hot water, and anytime something happens, he has to bail himself out of these situations. So, let's get on with the story. It starts off with Krusty saying, "It's the greatest amusement park ever, kids! There'll be thrills, kills, and even outdoor grills filled with delicious Krustyland products." And even talks about the big opening that will be happening in 28 days. And of course, we kind of see how everyone's thrilled except Krusty's dad. And we kind of see how, Krusty points out he needs the land to be built. But we see them saying, "But you don't have the money or the land, or even a name." So we kind of see how, turns out Krusty borrowed money from some shady people, and even points out he'll be wearing cement shoes and that. And we do kind of see how, in the middle of nowhere, Ned Flanders tells the ghost story of Jebediah Springfield and what happened on this land. So we see how Bart tries to pull a dangerous prank. And so, as Ned tells the story, Bart accidentally falls off the tree, and even says, "It wasn't me, I tell ya. It was a real ghost, man." And we see how, at Krusty Pork, we kind of see how Krusty decides to take the truck, and tries to branch off some products to the kids, and after getting a splinter, we see how, Flanders offers to help Krusty, but we see Krusty saying, "Touch me again and I'll see you in court, Nature Boy." Okay, Dokily, just wanting to help after all. And we kind of see how, after seeing the whole Krustyland thing, Krusty gets the idea this is like the biggest opportunity. And we see how, he tries to use his injury as a way to sue them. And of course, when there's something that's going to be sued, Lionel Hutz is here to show up. And we kind of see how, Krusty decides to kind of get Lionel Hutz to help him. And after reading the agreements, we kind of see how Ned says, "Okay, Dokily, I've signed your agreement. Now the ancient deed to Krustyland is yours." But we kind of see how he has to point out the warnings and decides to have Bart come with him. But you all know what's going to happen. If something is built on cursed land, something awful is going to happen. So of course, right away after saving Krusty's life, even Bart knows something's fishy about that boulder. But we kind of see how, Lisa says, "Listen to me, Bart. This is serious. There was a curse on that land. The deed says no structure is to be built higher than one story or destruction will follow." And we kind of see how even Lisa makes a justified point that, that Bart never listens to anyone and something always bad comes his way. Like, the episodes Bart versus Australia, that time with Reverend Lovejoy's daughter, the time with the Christmas tree fiasco. Bart is a walking disaster waiting to happen, and he never learns from his mistakes. And we see how, Krusty ends up meeting Fat Tony, who says, "Listen, this news is pleasing me, Krusty, but I am wondering if there is something else you are wishing to tell me. You know, Krusty, if there is one thing I am hating, would be lint. Do not fail me, Krusty, or your name is Lint." And we see how Krusty decides to go for any means necessary, getting checks, making bets, doing questionable experiments and modeling. And yeah, we even kind of see how Krusty tries to get his dad to still come to the theme park. And we see how, because of Bart not listening to Lisa's warnings, he's built the theme park higher than it needs to be. And you know what's going to happen. Bart doesn't listen. And we kind of see how, yeah, Krusty realizes he needs more money. And, yeah, decides to use Mr. Burns to dump his toxic waste. And, of course, Krusty has it all figured out from this really well-crafted design. And, yeah, this is like what Krabbyland would have been if Mr. Krabs wasn't cheap. And we kind of see how, yeah, Bart points out about the whole theme park and everything being great. They're going to get entries in that. And yeah, even Lisa tries to get Bart to see sense. Something bad is going to happen. But yeah, since this is Bart, Bart doesn't listen. He always has to learn things the hard way. And yeah, Krusty breaks his promise and only gives VIPs to people. And those VIPs being, yeah, Chief Wiggum's, Troy McClure, Mayor Quimby and that. And we kind of see how, yeah, the Simpson family look on Fat Tony and Krusty's dad. And the story ends with the curse basically being real, showing that because of Krusty's greedy behavior and Bart not listening, there is danger to follow. And yeah, this is the story. So I think the first issue of Krusty Comics is okay, but I can definitely see this one working more as a Nickelodeon or Disney Doug episode. Hell, just replace Krusty with Bill Bluff, replace basically Ned Scout Rangers with basically Mr. Dink and the other Scouts, and I think you got a good episode for a Doug story. So I think it's okay. It knows what it has to be. Just a basic Krusty storyline that feels more like a Disney or Nickelodeon Doug episode. So I think this one definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, kind of okay, but definitely readable. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.